Welcome everyone to a little bit of a different type of class today. We're going to be working on these hips and the mobility. So I want you to come on down to your mat. And again, same thing always. Check your space around you. Make sure you have room to roll around, reach up over your head, maybe um, check in with anything that's under your mat, any little lumps and stuff like that, especially if you're on a carpet. Make sure that you've just got a nice solid surface here. And once you've done that, remind yourself that if any time during the classes, anything that doesn't feel quite right, just stop and just take it at your own level. Have some fun. All right. So again, we're just going to find ourselves in a seated position. And we're just going to place our hands on our knees and close our eyes. Let's go ahead and take our chin to our chest as you exhale. And then inhale, look all the way up to the sky. Exhale, chin to the chest. And inhale, look up to the sky. One more time, chin to the chest. Inhale and look up to the sky. Exhale, chin to the chest. Keep your chin at your chest. Just roll over to that right shoulder. Exhale to the center. Inhale over to the other side. And back to the center. One more time each direction. Roll and come down. And roll and come down. All right, let's stack our head. I just want you to take your head and just drop it over to that right side. Let the left one hang down. So we don't want this one to tip up. We want to pull it down. And then we're bringing our head back up and doing it on the same side. Bring your head down to the right. Keep your left shoulder down. One more time, lift up and then bring it down. One more. This time we're just going to let the head drop, hold, relax that right head down to I should say, relax your head to the right side. Just let it hang down, bringing that left shoulder away from the ear. Taking that right hand, gently placing it on the temple, and just feeling that stretch. We're not pulling on it, we're just placing our hand on our temples, allowing gravity to assist with the weight of the hand on your head. If you'd like a little bit more, taking that left hand, reaching it behind your back and placing it in the small of your back, and then using your back to be able to pull your shoulder and your elbow on that left side behind you as you're still getting the stretch on that left side of your neck because your head is dropping to the right. Sit up nice and tall. And you'll even feel it more in that stretch. You're getting a pectoral stretch on that left side now, as well as a lengthening through your neck, your scalenes. If you have your hand on your head, I'd like you to release that now and put it back onto your knee. And then if you've got your hand behind your back, let's go ahead and place that on our knee. And then very slowly bring your head all the way back up. Tuck your chin into your chest as you exhale. And then inhale, look to the sky. Tuck your chin, exhale. And inhale, look to the sky. Go ahead and sit in a neutral position, relax those shoulders. We're just going to take our ear to our shoulder on the other side. You relax that right shoulder. And then all the way back up. Do it again. Exhale over. And then all the way up. One more time. Exhale over. All the way back up. And this time we're just going to let that head just hang there. Relax those shoulders. Relax the jaw and the face. We have the option to go ahead and just lightly place our fingertips on our temple not pulling, just adding a little weight from the hand as gravity does its work. Again, this might be enough. Sit up nice and tall. Again, we tend to slouch, so we want to sit up nice and tall. We have the final option of that right hand, taking it behind the back and tucking it into the small of the back, and then pulling our shoulder and our elbow behind us. Sit up nice and tall, and then just allow the stretch to happen. Again, on the right side, you're opening up your pectoral muscles. You're reaching behind you, something we don't often do, especially in that forward fold. We're sitting up nice and tall. We're also tipping our head over to the side, getting the scalenes to open up, trapezius down, all of the muscles that help you be able to turn your neck and look around. Again, in modern day world, we don't look around for dangers around us. We're not often looking up to the side. We're generally looking straight ahead or straight down into our cell phones or computers, maybe a book, but we're always looking down in front of us. Again, to release this stretch, I want you to release the head first and place your hand on your knee. And then you're going to do the same thing by releasing your back hand and placing it on your knee. And then very slowly bring that head back up. All right, tuck the chin, exhale, come down. Inhale, look all the way up. Exhale, come down. And inhale all the way up. Go ahead and bring your head to neutral, holding onto your knees. We're going to pull our chest forward, bring our elbows into our ribs, and look up to the sky. And then you're going to arch your back, chin to your chest, hold onto your knees, roll back as far as you can, and just come into the top of your butt. So you're just rolling onto the top of your glutes. Roll firmly into your butt. Bring your chest through, elbows squeeze them in at your ribs. Send the chest through as far as you can and look up. Hold. And then arch your back, sweeping back, rolling onto the top of those glutes. Let's go a little bit quicker. So we're going to exhale, sweep it through. We're going to inhale, roll it back. Exhale, sweep it through, squeeze the elbows into the ribs, look up, lean forward, pull on those knees, and then send it all the way back, roll on to the tops of your butt cheeks. Two more. Exhale, lean. Inhale, pull back. Exhale, lean. And pull back. Good. All right, so we're going to go ahead and sweep ourselves around into a kneeling position. If you need to roll up that mat to protect the knees, go ahead and do so. And we're here on that kneeling position. All right. Yeah, so tuck your toes in the back. And then I want you to just go ahead and roll the shoulders back. We're just going to take our right hand, slide it down as the left one comes up onto our hip, and you're reaching down for your knee. You're going to come back, keeping the hands on your legs, and tip to the other side. Look up to the ceiling. See if you can get that middle finger to touch the floor, straight down, and keep the other one against your hip. And then slide. And you're just sliding the palms right against your leg. Yeah, we're not leaning forward. We're not leaning back. We're just tipping side to side. Getting a nice little side bend here, holding onto your hip, and then switching it out and holding on to your hip. Good. Come back into the center. Inhale those hands to your side. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to take that right hand. We're going to bring it down and see if it can touch the floor. The other one up. And then you come back through center and you reach the other way. These are side bends, big stretch. Might feel it in the hip, in the obliques, sometimes in the shoulders. And back to center. And reach. Let's do that one more time each side. So straight down, try and touch the side of your leg, your knee, the floor. Reach the other one up, straight up. And other side. And come back in through center. Now, if those toes were tucked and you were getting a good stretch there, that's great. We're going to continue with that one. So I'll just turn to the side so you can see it. We're going to place our hands down. And we're just going to send our butts back. Those toes are tucked. Walk your hands in and just push back and see how far we can get those heels to the floor. Okay? If they don't want to meet, don't worry about it. You're going to walk yourself back out. And we're slowly going to bring those feet to touch and walk all the way out to the tabletop. Walk yourself slowly back in. If this is where you need to be, stay here. If you can, go ahead and lift those knees. If you can, walk yourself back, coming here, and then maybe being able to get onto those heels. Then slowly walk yourself forward and bring your knees down and come back to your tabletop. Let's do that one more time. Walking yourself back out. Go ahead and lift up. Drop those feet down, those heels down if you can. Go ahead and walk yourself back out. Draw up those knees and into your tabletop. All right. We are going to continue with that. I'm just turning so that you can see me on this side. We're just going to take our knees out. Our toes are tucked. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to walk back. We're going to come up onto those toes. Okay, so it's just onto those toes and bring the heels to touch. Go ahead and walk into the center of your knees. And if you can, go ahead and walk yourself up onto your knees. If you've got that balance, lengthen your spine and bring your hands out to the side. Okay, go ahead and test your balance because you need your side flexion. Reach down to the floor and all the way up. Now you can't tip forward or back or you're going to lose your balance with those feet. So if you were working really hard in that first move, kneeling, and you've got that center of gravity, you'll be able to do this and get an amazing stretch for those feet. If this is too much, go back to the kneeling and can continue to practice that way. Over to the side. Look at something on the floor that isn't moving in front of you. If you want that challenge, this is where you can follow your hand to look up. I'm going to give it a shot. So I'm going to go ahead and try and look up at my hand. Oh my goodness. And then bringing yourself back to the center. Go ahead and look at that hand as it goes up. And bringing yourself back through center. Oof. Bringing those hands down through the center. Release the work that you've just done in the feet. I want you to go ahead and just tap those feet. All right. For those who love these calf stretches or the work and have tight calves, most of us have tight calves. We do a lot of walking and we don't release the feet when we've done that. So what I want you to do here is we're going to do the calves first. So hands are in a comfortable position. I like to have them stacked underneath my shoulders for good support. If you need to, you can roll up the mat or make fists for wrists. By rolling up the mat, I mean just have your fingertips a little bit lower than your wrist to remind you to press into your fingertips, and it'll take a little bit of pressure out of the joint at the wrist. And then what I just want you to do is place your feet flat on the floor. You're going to take one of your knees and you're going to place it in the center of your calf on the other one. Okay? So go ahead and put it right in the center. And then what I want you to do is send your hips back and just press your knee into the calf. Now, if that's already starting to feel a pretty good sensation, just stay right here. If you would like a little bit more, just circle that knee, little circles in one direction. Lighten up the pressure. It's your body. You know exactly how much pressure you need. I've been doing a lot of walks and hikes in the jungle, and I can tell you, this calf needs some love. It's amazing how much work your calf has to do. And if your calves are tight, it can pull on the Achilles and then right down into the plantar surface of your foot. So little circles here, center of the calf. Go ahead and just slide your knee down to where your Achilles tendon would attach into the calf muscle. Okay, so just right at the bottom of that calf muscle, and then slide your knee back up in towards the other knee. So we're just doing a nice sliding motion straight down the muscle in the center of it, and then straight back up. You can also come to the outside of that muscle. Mine is really tight. Woof. And then you can point your toe and then just let it flex out, or bend at the knee and let it flex out. Okay, that'll just change the pressure on your calf by just changing the placement of the knee. And then if it's really good, you can just go side to side, just drawing right to left. And you can do that a little bit higher, a little bit lower, play with it. Now, if you'd like to spend a little bit more time here exploring that calf, feel free to press pause and stay here for a little bit longer, or you can switch with me. All right. So, again, if you need to release those wrists for a second, we can. We'll do a little bit of a release for the wrists after. But right now, we're just going to go on to the other calf. All right. So, set yourself up, feet flat on the floor, taking the other knee, placing it into the center of the calf. And then to add a little bit more pressure, sit your butt back, and that'll drive the pressure of the knee into the calf muscle. Now, again, this is just static pressure here, and this is really good to release tightness in muscles. Now, we all like to massage and do circular motions and stuff like that, but often a lot of the times the muscle just needs a nice downward press and just hold and breathe. Now, the other thing I didn't mention is if you're breathing like sharp, like ooh, and that is not a calming breath. Okay, we need nice, deep, long breaths. Maybe start to draw those circles and just breathe in through the nose and slowly out through the nose if you can. Okay, let's go ahead and just slide down that calf. Bring it all the way back up. This motion might feel very good. You might not feel it very much. If you want to do cross fiber friction, you just go side to side, right to left. By doing the up and down and side to side, you're going to be able to find different parts of the calf that you might find that are tighter. There's two parts of the calf. One muscle might be tighter than the other. I'm going to the outside on this one, which isn't as bad as my other one. So I'm going to go to the inside and see what's happening. It seems to still be the outside, but not as aggressive feeling as it was on my other calf. So that's just something for me to note that's interesting. I must have been either stepped on something that required that muscle to work a little bit harder, or was relying on that other leg a little bit more during my hikes, during my walks. That's just something for me to be notice of the next time I go out for a walk or a hike. All right, let's release that and go ahead and come into a seated position. All right, so now that those calves and those feet are good, we're going to work your hands. So again, just have a seat. We're going to place our hands out in front of us. We're going to take our one hand and place it so that our fingertips are pointed towards our body. And we're going to take our wrist and place the wrist down, and we're going to straighten and turn your elbow to the front. That should give you a nice stretch along the front of your finger extensors. So again, some of us might be here, and that just takes out a lot of the stretch. So get your wrist down, and then try and get the angle out of the elbow. And then I just want you to turn. It's just really by squeezing your bicep muscle and your tricep muscle to get that twist so that the crease in the elbow is facing forward. Now, if you've got this, you can always start to bring your index finger and curl it in, place it down. Try and get your middle finger to curl, put it down. Your ring finger, put it down. And then your pinky finger and put it down. Lift your thumb up and put it down. Let's try it one more time. Index finger, curl it up. Middle finger, that third finger, and that pinky. Lift that thumb up. Now that wrist stays exactly where it is, and we just curl all the fingers up together. If your wrist is flat and the palm of your hand is exposed and the back of your hand is fully on the ground, you will not be able to make a full fist because the flexion here and the extension will not allow that. If your wrist is fully flat, you'll just get a great stretch. Let those fingers relax. Press into the hand that's in front of you, palm down, and slowly release that wrist out. Give it a little roll. Give it a little shake. Whew. All right, let's do the same thing on the other side. Plant the hand that we just worked down. Okay, that's the support. And then we're going to take our hand and flip it up. Fingertips point towards you. And then you're just going to press your wrist down. Now, if you need a little less stretch, bring the hand closer to your body. If you want more stretch, bring it further away. Then we can just take the bend out of the elbow and release it down. We're going to do the same thing with our fingers. You're going to pull your index finger up, place it down, center finger, place it down, that third finger down, and your pinky and down. Lift that thumb up. We'll go through that cycle again, bringing your first finger and down, your middle finger, it's a little harder on this hand for me, and down, that third finger and down, and then that pinky and down. Lift that thumb and down. All right, I've taken that bend. I've put that bend back in, so I'm going to take it out again. So if you've done the same as me, try and straighten it. Then we're going to curl our fingers up into a fist. And then we're going to release it back down. We're going to press into the hand with the palm down. And then we're going to slowly release this one up and give it a real shake. Good. Let's go ahead and take those fingers and flex them, interlace them. Bring them all the way up over your head. I'm going to take a little bend to the side, really press, and bring it all the way up. And then to the other side and press, and bring it all the way up. Let's go ahead and release those hands down. Let's go ahead and roll those shoulders. We're going to come into our tabletop here. This will be our last exercise. So we're going to just go ahead and come down onto our forearms just to get off of those wrists. And we're going to just let our feet come flat on the ground. I want you to go ahead and press firmly into your forearm. Lift your back hand all the way up into the sky for this twist. And then you're going to exhale, thread through. Inhale, rise all the way up. And exhale, dive it through. One more time, big inhale, rise it all the way up. And dive it through. And we're just going to stay here for a second. So you can use your hand as a fist and use it to place it by your temple. If you want, you can have your head all the way on the ground. Your palm is faced up. And shift your hips to the back of your mat for a nice little stretch here. If this feels good, you can stay here. Option is that hand that is not thread through can walk all the way out to the top of the mat And if you feel supported here and would like to take that hand into the sky to wrap behind your back, you're going to get even more of a spinal twist here. You can roll that top shoulder, getting a little bit more of pectoral and spinal twist, as well as the stretch for that bottom shoulder. Feel free to close your eyes. Take a moment. Couple of nice deep breaths here. Knowing again that if you want to stay in this posture a little bit longer, feel free to do so. We're just going to do everything on the other side. You can take that hand all the way up, place it down by your shoulder, and then slowly unwind. We'll get onto the forearms again. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So place your forearm down, feet flat on the floor. Go ahead and lift that front arm all the way up. Tuck through and thread it under, bringing that shoulder to touch. A couple more times. Inhale, seeing if we can open up a little further each time that we go. Exhale, dive through and touch. This will be our last one for the motion part. If you need to do a couple more, feel free. We're going to exhale and just stay down. So drop that shoulder down. Here are your options. Make a fist with that opposite hand and place your head on it for support. Option, let your head just come all the way down to the floor. Option, shift your hips to the front of your mat and feel the fascia being stretched a little bit more because you've got your shoulder being pulled across on the mat. Again, staying here if this feels right, or walk that other hand all the way up to the top and get a little bit more of a stretch through your lats. If you want to open up pectoral, take a deep breath in, reach that hand all the way up into the sky, and exhale it, bring it behind your back. Roll that top shoulder back, shift a little bit more to the front, the hips to the front of the mat, and just breathe here. A couple of more nice deep breaths. And you know you have the option to stay in this posture for as long as you want. If you have your hand behind your back, go ahead and take a big inhale, lift it all the way up. Everybody place your hand down by your shoulder. Press into that hand to help yourself unwind out of this stretch. And let's go ahead and come back to seated on our mats. We will end the class the way we began it. So go ahead and place your hands on the knees, shoulders up, back, and down. Pull your chest through, squeeze your elbows into your ribs, look up to the sky, and then round out the back as you come into the seated cat-cows. Go ahead, big inhale, look up. Exhale, pull back. One more time, pull through. Exhale, back. Seated posture, inhale your hands all the way up. Exhale down through heart center. One more big inhale, rise all the way up. And exhale, let it go. Thank you everyone for practicing. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you very soon. Take care.